it doesn't mean that you're in love with that person. I feel like you can have sex without being in love. So that's where people who do cheat on their spouse, somebody they are in love with, that's their fuck up. Because now the person's looking at them like, you don't love me. But I have been in that situation where I've cheated on the person I love. And I've cried my ass off. Like, I love you, I swear. I'll die for you right now. I love you. And it's something that I feel like is very hard to explain. Like, it's just a natural human feeling. Like, I feel like we're like animals and we're just going based off of our emotions.
Well, I mean, listen, they've been saying this for as long as before all of us was even alive, that monogamy is not natural. It's a proven scientific fact. There's only 11 animals in this world that are monogamous based, and human beings are not in that list. So cheating is something that you have to take into consideration whenever you're dealing with somebody, because you're taking on the possible chance of you having an unrealistic idea of a relationship. Now, does cheating not happen? Yes. Lots of times. Does cheating happen? Yes, lots of times. But the fact of the matter is, it might happen no matter how much you love the person, no matter how much they love you, no matter what it is that they do, no matter what y'all got going on between y'all. It's a possibility. And to rule it out is almost insane. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's the part that really kills us, is that we think that it won't happen, but it happens. And when it happens, it's real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And at the same time,
I feel like it's hard to
that.
judge people on that. Like, we shouldn't. I think we do judge people on it, but we shouldn't.
But that doesn't
we really
mean.
Shouldn't.
But I want the audience to understand. We're not saying lower your standard.
Yeah.
You don't lower your standard.
And we're not saying it's okay.
Listen, and we're not saying that it's okay. But we're giving the variables of what goes into when you might take someone back and when you don't. So if you've been paying attention to what the panel was saying, in other words, don't allow others to dictate your decision. And if you're going to keep someone, if you don't, look at things. If you got children, if you got somebody. First of all, people with no children might say, "Oh, leave all day long." But when you got children, it's just not that easy, right? To leave when you see how it's breaking your child every single day. They even tell you that you need to put your child through therapy because at the end of the day, they're grown. That's not supposed to be normal. We making it normal that our children is being raised by having a bonus parent, et cetera, but that's not normal. I see we moving into this world of we making it okay or making it normal for people to have growing up with bonus parents. No, that's not supposed to be normal, and your child needs to go through therapy, and both parents need to be going through therapy.
Excuse me? I come from a very blended family. So both of my parents actually were in previous marriages before they met each other. And they had 2 sons. So all of my siblings are half. I'm the only kid that comes from both of my parents. So I actually had like this amazing opportunity now that I'm grown enough to understand it, of like having both my mother and father in-house, but then seeing my brother's relationship with my father, who's not their biological father. And honestly, now that we're all grown, they're older than me in their 30s and stuff, so it's something really beautiful in the fact of seeing my brothers look at my father and say, I'm Puerto Rican, but I'm Black. Like, it's beautiful. It's a bonus advisor. It's not just this bonus parent. It's a bonus mentor, a bonus teacher. Like, you learn so much from like your elders that it's so hard to discredit the people out here who are sacrificing, taking care of other people's children, using their money, their means to take care of other people's children. I'm telling you, I've seen it.
I mean, I grew up in that.
I grew up in that. I grew up seeing, my father take care of. Take care of us.
So let me speak from a person who grew up with a bonus parent, what it feels like. I love my brother's fathers. Me and my sister, the only one with a brother, same father, same mother.
But still,
I
think what he's trying to say, because baby, you don't have kids.
Yeah.
He has kids, I have kids.
I
understand what he's trying to say and I understand what you're trying to say.
I'm just saying
because
from a kid's
I grew up like that
standpoint,
too. But when you have a baby, the day you have a baby with whoever you decide to have a baby with, when you first have that baby, you're not thinking I'm gonna raise this baby without this person.
No, yeah,
you're
of
not gonna
course.
think
I
that. You're not gonna
completely-
want
So you're
that.
talking about someone.
completely
So when that
100%
happens,
agree.
when that happens, you start feeling like
Yeah.
shit, and you're like, damn, my kids. Because
Yeah.
you always want to raise a
I
family
just don't
together, no
think
matter
that,
what.
like,
You always want
there's
to do that,
this normal.
especially if you came from a
No,
broken
what
home.
I'm
Yeah.
saying is we don't want to. What I'm saying is we don't want to make that normal. Though that my brothers, fathers love me and sacrifice, I would trade that for my biological father and
Facts.
mother
That's
to be
what
in
I'm
the house
saying. Me too.
all day long. I could get a bone. Listen,
In hopes
A is
that-
my bonus mentor. Right? He's a bonus big brother. My best friend's father is a bonus mentor, a bonus father figure. I don't need a bonus father or bonus mentor in my own household. In my own household, I can have that for my father and have his friends and have my friends' fathers, the whole 9 yards. So my only point is, it's still a part in you that you wish that both your parents grew up together. And you speaking from a position of you watching someone else, but you're not in that position.
Yeah. So I have a
and
question for you.
I'm listening.
Okay, so since you considered like yourself to have been surrounded with someone who is like a bonus parent, but let's say, okay, your father, he wasn't gonna be the best depiction of like a father. Whatever you would think of a good father for you, he wasn't gonna be that. And yeah, the visual image of my mom and my dad are together, it looks pretty. But would you really like trade like your biological father, all the like habitual things that could be messy and toxic and stuff, over like this bonus person who's literally giving you pieces of themselves, like working to take care of you? But they're not your blood.
Listen, every day I would trade that. You don't understand how it feels.
I'm just interested. Yeah, I just want to ask because I would have never known.
I'm in the just 2 seconds. The yearn for it. I don't care if my father sold drugs. I want him. No matter how much I can still get that bonus father figure. He don't need to be in my house. I'm gonna still get that. I got it. I've been compensated. You're saying when broken homes break up.
No, I'm
then
meaning
that
within the household. Like, would you rather
I'll
like
take my
grow
father.
up
Listen,
with
let me
like
tell
a
you
father
something.
that wasn't really
There's no
present
man can
that's your
replace him.
blood,
There's no.
All right, so
or
I'm gonna
someone
go.
who's providing for you that isn't biological at
one
all?
all day long. I will replace it all day long.
Speaking on what y'all speaking on, right? So I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum, right? I do agree, however, you should not normalize having a broken home, but if it's what's actually best, I'm always for what's best. Now, for me, right? So my mom ended up dating another man for about, 10 years, basically all of my childhood. That man taught me how to be a real man. If I would follow in my father's footsteps, I'd probably be a simp. And I feel personally standing here, like my non-biological father is more my father than my real father is. I've learned things from him that I know for a fact I could never learn from my biological father. And I appreciate him more than my actual biological father. I still talk to him to this day. He has kids, with a previous relationship before my mom, and those are my brothers and that's my sister. I call them every day. We talk to each other every day. It's almost as if the blood couldn't make us any closer. So it was just best for the situation, and that's what I'm for. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes it is, better. Like if it depends on everything has so many different variables that come into play. But I'm just speaking on the overall picture on what's best.
To provide the kid the best opportunity.
Or not even
What's
just
healthy?
a kid, forget the kid.
What's healthy
to
for
provide
everybody?
the house, because you gotta understand that a kid is in a home. And it's not just having two parents, because you have two parents who are drinking, fighting, or not even drinking and fighting, but
Or
fighting
fighting in
and
front of
fighting.
each other,
and
hitting
they're
each
not,
other.
They're not happy with each other. It's hard to live happily in a place where there's no happiness. It doesn't matter if there's biological parents or it doesn't matter if it's non-biological parents. If there's not happiness in that household, the kid can't be growing up happily. It's just impossible. You're seeing things that are traumatic constantly, or you're just having a bad energy, bad aura in your house where you're spending majority of your time growing up. You're growing up with negativity in your home. It's not good in any situation. But
you make a I want to say you make a beautiful point. But I like to go back what Alan said. I can't when you in
you
the
can't
household.
predict it. I get it.
I can't predict that my father wouldn't make good decisions.
Yeah, yeah.
When you work it out and you get past the BS, like Alan was talking about, taking someone back, right? Sometimes it might be in a relationship where someone might do something, and if you could just get over the hump, then you talk about 15, 20 years later, you talking about relationship goals, right? The whole 9 yards. I don't know the projection. I'm saying I would rather give my father the chance.
Yeah,
I
of
don't,
course.
because we could sit here and say because he didn't have the burden to be able to take care and raise us, so he didn't have to force himself to be a certain way. But if he was forced to be a certain way, I would like to think that he would make better decisions.
I've always been the type for like second chances, and like there's no third time's a charm type of thing. Like once you do it again, like my whole trust factor is like even more so like just destroyed, honestly. Like the first time you do it, now I'm like questioning you a little bit. Like, are you really at the gym? Are you really like working overtime? Or are you just like out? And then if I get you doing it a second time, that's just like inviting more like demons into the relationship. So like, I believe everyone should get a second chance. But other than that, like if it's repetitious, like it's a solid no-go.
I think when you think of cheating, you have to sit back and actually analyze why it happened in the first place. Whether if it was you who cheated or your partner who cheated. I've definitely cheated on men before, and I've had men cheat on me before. So I've analyzed that and sit and say, okay, am I cheating because I'm unhappy? Am I cheating because I'm not getting satisfied? Is he cheating on me because I'm not satisfying him? What is the problem? And then you got to think about it. Cheating is like a way of life. In some sense or form, you learn from it. So it's like, I have a friend, I'm not going to say no name because she's dear to me, but she was with somebody for a very long time. I'm talking about like, she's 32 now. So she was with him for like 20 years. She just left that man, like just left him, and she's on a fuck spree. She wants to fuck everybody because it's in her system. She never got it out of her system. She was very faithful to that man. She actually was faithful to him. And, I feel like we're the opposite in a sense that I've cheated on a lot of my men in the past. So now I'm in a point in life where like I want to be faithful, especially if the person's not doing nothing wrong to me. Yeah. Because I am a little bit revengeful. That's something I got to work on. But I've been good. I've been a good girl. So I do believe that it's a lesson that we all have to learn eventually, whether it's we're the one that are doing the cheating or if we're getting cheated on. It's a lesson learned in some shape or form.
And like, just like, don't devalue yourself because of it.
It's very frowned upon because it hurts you.
Listen, I was about to say, let me say this.
Like that's still a painful experience.
What we're not going to do is minimize. No, we're not going to minimize it. Cheating is a heavy burden in a relationship.
And it's still a wrong thing. I'm not saying it's right.
But I do agree that's a heavy trial that a woman and man, whoever has to be the victim of someone cheating on them, you're going to go through that. And I think that we don't need to minimize that in no shape, form, or fashion. I think that I do agree with Alan that we shouldn't, just because someone cheat on you, jump up. And that goes from both men and women. I know a lot, and men, again, I said this before, act like, it's a public perception that men run after they get cheated on. That is false. Go listen to all them old R&B songs, all right? Go listen to all of them. They knew the girls was cheating. They wanted to take them back. They was programmed that way.
What's that? I don't want to know if you're playing me, keep it on the low.
Even older than that, Boys to Men, End of the Road. You have Stevie. You have all of them R&B singers that have been singing it back then. It's just what it is. It was under the rug, right? It was swept under the rug or dealt with privately, right? And a man moved on when he was able to move on. It's kind of hard when he know all his friends know and everyone, it's kind of hard for him to take them back. Though women normally, when a man cheat, they run and tell their friends, they tell their family, they tell everybody. So then, it's more public at the end of the day. And I think that, so it's a burden on both ends, on back and forth. A lot of times when men got cheated on, it was dealt with. They was able to take their women back privately. They didn't broadcast that to other men, and they didn't broadcast to their friends in the whole 9 yards. They was able to deal with that privately, which made it easier for them to take their woman back. When a woman get cheated on, she run and tell her business to everybody. So now the pressure from the outside, girl, leave him, this thing, you got that whole shebang going on, right? And they never really leave anyway, even after all of that pressure. But a lot of times, if the shoe was on the other foot with a man, he's out. Let's just make that perfectly clear here. Majority of the times than none. But they was dealing with women cheating on them. But fellas, let me say this. I'm not saying that if you get cheated on, it's a guarantee you need to take your woman back. Now, she needs to feel and know that you will leave her, right? And ladies as well. It's not just a gender thing. He needs to feel like, no, I will leave. Like, I don't need you, I want you. This is not something that my glass is already halfway filled. You just providing whatever you provide for me in the need in the relationship at the end of the day, or that I want in the relationship. So, I just think that we don't need to minimize cheating. It's a real thing. It happens all the time. We live in that society. But at the end of the day, I think that stuff, you need to keep that behind closed doors.
All right, so when it comes to cheating, right? Well, let's take a step back. When it comes to a relationship, you know what I'm saying? A relationship, what I actually just read a couple weeks ago, successful relationships are reciprocal. The reciprocal part of a relationship is the more important. So that's why I feel like a lot of things, end because of cheating. If I'm being loyal to her and she's not reciprocating that loyalty back to me, there is public shame that come involved, but there's multiple variables that come into play that's going to force me to break up with this person. Because I was giving you something that you were not reciprocating. And then, the list goes on. Public shame, personal shame, you know what I'm saying? A doubt, guilt, maybe, blaming myself, whatever the case may be. Now, I do think that cheating you should be very honest with cheating. And I feel like if you're going to try to minimize the impact on your relationship when it comes to cheating, you need to be honest with it. So a lot of guys that I know, my friends, they cheat on their girls and, they just sweep it under the rug. Then when the rug gets pulled, they deny. And then, eventually more proof comes out and the girl's constantly searching for proof because she wants to prove to him that she knows he cheated. And because he's not being honest with cheating, once she finally gets enough proof or once he does it again, she draws a line and it's over with. I read this quote on, it was a meme on Instagram the other day, and it was like, if you love the girl enough, be honest with her and you don't have to lie to her because she will love you enough to lie to herself.
That's very true. That is so true. Oh my goodness.
That's crazy, right?
I definitely feel like you spoke on the public shame. That's another reason why people don't like cheating. People frown upon cheating because it's public shame. Nobody wants to go through that. Nobody likes to feel that pain. Nobody likes that. Nobody likes that. There's not one person in this world that's going to tell me that they're really okay with that. Deep down in their little heart, I know there's a little piece that's like, but they deal with it. Now, if you are head over heels over a man or head over heels over a woman, you will lie to yourself. It's very much what Rico said is very true. I've definitely been there. And it's a natural human feeling. Like, you're just gonna deal with it because you want that person so bad that you don't care.
But that's good though.
But those be the people that last the longest. Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why you see the people on Instagram that be like, oh, couple goals whatsoever, blah, blah, blah. But those partners cheat on each other hella times. They went through mad shit together, fought
that's the
each
thing.
other, probably went to jail over each other, and now they're happy years later.
And that's their journey. Every relationship has different journeys. I'm not saying, because everybody could take different things. We can't make a blanket statement across and say everybody needs to go through the same thing.
No, of course
but
not.
it's similar things that we do go. Like there's real stuff that and
But
cheating is a
you're
big
not
thing.
gonna tell me that there's not one person in this world that says that they've never cheated or haven't been cheated on. I can guarantee you that, because I've never met that. A person
Nah,
tell
that's
me.
not true.
I've met people that say they've never cheated, but people have cheated on them at least once in their life.
I don't like when people try to normalize American ways on the world. The world is so much different than America.
Let me rephrase that. America.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
You're right.
We do a lot of
Even though I'm
sex
sorry,
over
in
here.
other countries it's worse.
No, in other countries
it's worse. I'm sorry.
Actually, America,
in other countries it's worse.
America has the highest divorce rate.
In other countries it's bad.
America has the highest divorce rate.
They be freaking selling pussy in the corner.
No,
in other
America
countries.
has that's what we are told, but America has the highest divorce rate. They have the highest of infidelity. I don't think that is healthy for you to lie to yourself to be with someone.
It's not healthy.
What I think that is more mature, and I think that is I think it's more mature if for you to know if somebody being honest with you and said that they cheated, you don't need to lie to yourself to be with this person.
Obviously that's the proper way, but that's painting a perfect picture. You can't expect the person to be honest with you.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
You're in that position where you're faced with, am I gonna leave this person or am I gonna just deal with it?
But that's not what I'm saying.
And that's what I say. It's like a psychological thing. You're lying to yourself. You're not actually sitting there like, oh my God, he's not cheating on me. Like, like it's not. It's like a psychological thing.
So
you're just
no, it's more clear because I'm saying that I thought that you were
it wasn't
sounding
so literal.
No, it wasn't so literal.
I got you.
But at the same time is this. Moral of the story is this is what I think about cheating when people break up with others. And it kind of goes back to what you were saying. I don't like when people are in a relationship and they get cheated on and public shame makes them break up with that person, but they still want to be with that person. That's a weak individual.
That's a weak individual. 100%.
But it happens because his feelings are hurt.
But it doesn't matter about it doesn't matter about what happens. It's about your reasoning. You want to be with this person, but you're letting the outside factors disrupt your at home, you know what I'm saying, relationships. You can't do that. And I feel like as a man or a woman, if you want to be with that person and they make a mistake and you believe in second chances, or maybe you don't, but you want to give this person a second chance, you got to tune out the outside noise in any relationship.
Exactly.
That's right.
Because it's way bigger than just cheating. There's things that you guys do that the world may sit there and try to frown upon, and all your family members or friends might frown upon, and now you guys are questioning your own relationship because of what everybody else thinks or has to say. That's what I don't like.
And he said
I don't like that either.
And it's just like a boat, right? He making a good point. It's just like a boat. A boat floats, right? The water don't get in it. Once the water gets in it, it sinks. The minute that you allow other people, your friends and stuff, to get in you or in your relationship, that's when your relationship goes down. So at the end of the day, I think that, and you said something, and I done heard this plenty of times on many different segments. This thing irks me. It literally irks me. I hate, and I'll use that term, I don't use that always. I hate that we make justifications for when we say we need to get it up out of our system. Oh, the reason why she or the reason why he's running around doing X, Y, and Z, or they need to get it out their system. She was in a relationship for 20 years. I got you.
I didn't say that.
Yo, listen, she was in a relationship for 20 years. Now she having sex with everybody because she was held back, so she need to get out of her system.
I know you don't like to hear that, but
that is an excuse for lack of accountability and weakness. Just say, listen, I'm okay with someone saying, listen, I just want to have sex with everybody.
Or I'm in pain.
Listen, at the end of the day, that's it. Like, listen, I'm weak in this aspect at this point in time. You know, I'm weak in this aspect, or I might not be weak, but this is just what I want to do. The minute that we start blaming others for our actions, you're now in denial.
You know what I just realized too? Thinking about this, like, you also got to know who you're dealing with. Because not everybody is the same. It's just the facts. You know what I'm saying? If you're dealing with, let's say you're dealing with a Lil Wayne or a Jay-Z in their prime, and they have a tour for 3 months, they're gonna cheat on you. Like, they're gonna cheat on you. If you have Odell Beckham who is, you know, doing his thing for half of the year during football, he's gonna cheat on you. You know what I'm saying? So you also gotta be realistic with who you're dealing with.
1000%.
You know what I'm saying? Because not everybody needs to be held at that same stature of, I guess, monogamy. Because it's not fair to them, because the amount of temptations that they have are tremendously different from the guy who's working, you know, at the office building. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's guys who have to work for it, and then there's guys who's getting it thrown at them constantly, all day, every single day, and it's unfair. Like, if he slips up 1 or 2 times, but he's had 5,000 women throw themselves at him, I actually commend him, because it's not easy, especially as a man. So, like, the same thing with a woman. So, let's say if you're dating Rihanna, right? And Rihanna's on tour, and you don't see Rihanna, and Rihanna just so happens to mess up, you know, 1 or 2 times throughout that tour. You have to know who you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like you also have, that should be able to help you, you know, identify your situations. And everybody's situation is different.
And
now,
some people can deal with the cheating, and some people
yeah,
can't.
but like, don't deal with somebody who has the odds of cheating are higher. Like, if I know, like, yo, listen, I know myself. If you cheat on me, I'm never taking you back.
Cheating on you.
I can't. I'm not gonna go date the highest, you know, the hottest commodity in the world. It's not gonna work that way. Or somebody who, you know, is in that realm. Or you don't want somebody who, let's say you have, you know, you don't want people to cheat on, you don't want your significant other to cheat on you. Don't date a party promoter. He's at parties all the time. He's drinking all the time. He's around.
Let me interject on this a little bit. Just as much as we're normalizing this idea of cheating, as a society, we need to be so much more furious on trying to promote this idea of celibacy. Because, like, not every man that is a party promoter is gonna cheat on the woman that he's absolutely in love with. Not to say he didn't cheat on her the first year that they were dating. Okay, but like, there's this idea of like, so why do you have to?
Hold up, Jordan. That sounds good. But what y'all about to do is start speaking for men. Hold on, what y'all about to start doing?
I'm not speaking for men. I'm speaking for the individual who is choosing to have intercourse with someone who isn't their significant other. But they're making a choice. It's not a gender thing.
We're talking about the odds, right? Yeah. You speaking exceptions. Right?
No. I'm saying that we need to care about celibacy just as much as the idea that people have to get it off.
All right, and listen.
Like, you're making a choice to have sex with someone who is not your significant other. You are aware. Yes. That is not a man thing. That is not a woman thing. That is just like an in the moment thing. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree.
You're choosing to do that.
Well, everything is about choice. You choose to do every decision that you made is still your decision. Which goes back to why I said I hate that when people say, "Oh, they get out." That is, you're making a decision based upon you. Don't blame no one else.
Yeah,
right?
I just don't think every single party promoter is cheating on their significant other.
That's not what you're saying.
That's not what he's saying.
I'm saying that know your situation. The odds are probably 9 out of 10.
I was about to say the odds. I've been in that situation. I was just sitting while I was listening to y'all. I was deciding if I was going to say it or not. But my mother, my children's mother, right? She had cheated, right? While we was married, right? Now, if she would have cheated prior to us getting married, honestly, I probably wouldn't even care that much because I wasn't really, I wouldn't say into her, but it wasn't, I'm living my life. But when I changed up and we got married, I took marriage serious. And because I took marriage serious and I was so focused on, you know, trying to be a family man, and then you cheat, it broke me like in mad different pieces. Not that I held her at the pedestal of thinking that she wouldn't do it. it was that damn, like, out of all the times is now, like, I'm trying to change up, like, it was kind of like, not the nerve or like how, it was kind of like, how could you, when I'm busting my behind, making sure everything is, you know, trying to be a family man. And we married. Prior to marriage, like I said, y'all know my motto, you single until you married. So it really hurted me. So when I was so hurt that I never told my mom any of, you know, our transgressions, but in that point in time I was hurt, I told my mother. And my mother, that was like, I was literally in tears. And my mother says to me, right after she was talking to me, and she says, maybe you need to think about before you clip her completely and go through a divorce and the whole 9 yards. It's not about you. You got to think about your children. And I had to.
I don't like that.
And listen,
it's an old school mentality.
Listen, well, the thing about it is she knew what she had to deal with me and my sister for her leaving my father. So the drawback of not having a good relationship with my sister in certain areas, because my sister still to this day feels some type of way she left my father, right? So at the end of the day, I knew kind of why she was making that decision. I mean, making that statement towards it, because she was saying it was more so focused on my girls, and that's the most important thing for them to grow up with both their parents and the whole 9 yards. Give them something different. She said, and overall, you got to look at it. Do she have more pros than she have cons? So that's what, like Alan said, are you about to get rid of her over a 10% and 90% of things that she got going on? Do y'all match? You're right, throwing away baby with the bathwater, right? So at the end of the day, right, I literally had to think about that. And like I said, I would agree to if I wasn't married, I probably would have took her back, because my justification, well, I'm not really taking a relationship serious. It is what it is, like the whole 9 yards. But when you get married, something clicks, and it's like more sacred than anything.
It's even more hurtful.
And then I think that not only maybe if it was a private thing, but because it was open, right? I'm like, it's nothing. I couldn't turn back. Like, rather you say it's weak or not, I just couldn't turn back to forgive on that.
Yeah,
well, I shouldn't say forgive, because I do forgive her, but I couldn't stay. I had to love her from across the street, in other words.
My daughter's father always used to tell me, because he did an 8-year bid. He's home now, but he did do an 8-year bid, and I held him down for the first 3.5 years of the bid faithfully. And he always used to tell me, the soul is willing, but the flesh is weak. And he always used to say that no matter how hard I try, like, eventually I will give in to somebody else, even if, like, I tried. And look, I lasted pretty long, but it was true. Like, I eventually did. I'm sorry, it happened. But that goes to show you that, you know, we're human, and sometimes we make that mistake.